One of the products that boosted Apple into the forefront of revolutionizing the tech industry is the iPod. This little music player has come so far over the years and has gone through so many changes and upgrades that people are expecting the company to come up with a new generation sooner or later. With that said, it's actually been way too long since Apple actually released a new model of the iPod Touch. The iPod Touch 5th generation was launched in 2012 at Apple's music event, and the company really hasn't touched the iPod since. The Apple event last year saw many fans eagerly waiting for the new iPod, but instead Apple added a new iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, iPad Air 2, and iPad Mini 3, with no iPod Touch 6th generation in sight. No reason was given, but the tech community has been speculating that Apple is concerned about the supply of parts, and there's also the question of the new market's real demand for the device, since iPhones and iPads are already capable of performing the iPod Touch's functions. But as with other instances of waiting, Apple fans are keeping the fire alive with a ton of rumors and speculations. Master Herald surmises that the next generation of the media player, the iPod Touch 6th generation, is likely to be launched in September this year with a 4.7-inch and 5.7-inch screen version. The post also went on to speculate that the new iPod Touch will come in various colors, run iOS 8.1.3, and will have improved battery life. It will also allegedly have better security through Touch ID, which is a feature that's definitely been long waiting to come to Apple's iPod. Now, the new iPod Touch should also boast an improved camera and a microSD capacity, and since it will come at a time when the Apple Watch is already out in the market, it will be compatible with that device, and like the watch, it should also be waterproof. Now, a lot of the online community has placed these specs under consideration, since Apple itself has been keeping mum on any details associated with the release of the iPod Touch 6G. With that said, I think that if we do see a massive overhaul to the iPod Touch this year, those specs would definitely make sense, and I think that that's what Apple's probably going to go with. Now, with that said, before I end off this video, I should just add a note of caution. Since Apple hasn't said anything about the iPod Touch since 2012, with the exception of a minor update that they released in 2013, it is always a possibility that Apple's just planning to discontinue the iPod Touch altogether. Apple really hasn't been focusing on iPods a lot lately, because they just haven't been selling well compared with the iPhone, the iPad, and even Apple's MacBooks, which are also performing fairly well. If Apple really was planning a massive overhaul for the iPod Touch in 2015, you'd think we would have heard a little bit more about it by now. But with that said, let me know if you'd like Apple to release the 6th generation iPod Touch in the comments below. I know I definitely like Apple to do this, and I'm really hoping it will get the overhaul it so desperately needs. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.